My name is Fátima, and I'm talking to you from Ontario, Canada. We have been stressed lately because dog health issues. One of them is that Mumu has very dry eyes, and he took some medication that attacked his allergies, and his eyes got drier, and we are not being able to solve with all the medication. We tried 3 already, and so he's going again to the vet tomorrow to do that, to check if there's another alternative. So for this reason also, our house is basically warmed up by wood stove, and the wood stove dries the air a lot, even for my eyes. So we are avoiding to use it. We had 1 degree 2 nights ago. That would be a little bit more than 32 Fahrenheit. And we're just roughing it up because we want to avoid adding to the dryness of his eyes. So forgive me if I am a little bit, all over the place, but I thought that this would cheer me up. I'm wearing my alias from Isabel Kramer. It's nice, it's cozy. I'm very, very happy with how it came out. And I'm happy that it's fall again and we are able to, it's sweater weather. So the trees are changing colors. Soon it's going to be amazing here. But in terms of finished objects, I have a few socks finished, not too many. I'm very delayed on 1 sock a week, but I decided that I have 8 other projects that I want to do that are not socks, and I'm wondering how many pair of socks I'm going to have by November, because I'm still knitting here and there, but without the stress of having to do 1 sock a week. So this is my hand spun. It was an old hand spun. I hold 2 threads together, each one with 2 cables, and I just did a normal sock, so it's going to be warm. And I'm trying to make socks for men, so this is a bigger foot. Then the other sock I did is this. This is a commercial yarn by Arnie and Carlos, and it's that yarn that you have a yellow part and you start on the yellow, and it's going to give you 2 pair of socks that are the same. I got a little bit stressed because of other things, and I said, oh, this yarn is not working correctly. So I cut and I was doing the thing, and then I let it and for a while, and when I came back and I saw, no, it was correct. I wasn't. So I mend the yarn again, and I did, but it ended up that at the top it is not exactly like the other one, but it's okay. So this is my second, as a matter of fact, this was the 3rd one I did, but it's okay. And then I had these socks that Tanya from Pelo de Arame had started the creativity socks. And we were supposed to make stripes, but with different colors based on how you were feeling. And I liked these 3 colors together, and I decided to make them. But they're okay, but I should have stick to what she said to make the different colors, because I don't know. But it is nice, it's done. I like the colors. So this is my sock number 3, and that's all that I have in finished socks for this time. Then my daughter Paula came here, and I wanted to give her the 2 things that I was making. And it's so funny because I love this yarn so much that I decided to knit hers first, the other thing first with this yarn, instead of finishing what I have. And here is a clip when she came. She's very shy, but we filmed so that she could model for me the two pieces that I finished, and you're going to see it here. My daughter came this weekend, and two of my finished objects are for Paula. So I decided to film this now because when she goes, the projects will go with her. And the first one is the Lyra from the Divine. It's a Kim Hargraves pattern. It's the Divine, it's book, and it's Lyra. She made this with mohair, but I had leftover of my cormo and alpaca fleece that I blend together, and I love this yarn so much, as you've seen. I use this for my alias from Isabel Kramer, and I had enough, and I said I'm gonna try to make this for her because it is really good. So Paula she's wearing it.
It's nice. It's comfy.
Yeah.
It's cropped.
Very cropped.
Very
but
modern.
it's nice to wear on top of a dress or even as she's wearing now. I really like it. And while she's going to take her second thing, I will be able to show you more what I'm doing. Paulina, can you take it off and then go dress the other top?
And then
Yeah,
go?
you can take it off. Just take it off.
Okay.
So the thing with this is I was afraid I wasn't going to be have enough yarn. So the whole time I was concerned. But I had still a leftover that she asked me to do a handband for her. So I'm working on a handband. And this will probably be ready today and will go with her too. But this is the cardigan. Initially I thought it wouldn't close, but she was wearing it closed and it's okay. But she can also wear it open. Of course, she can wear it open. But it's a nice cardigan. The problem with Kim Hargraves for me is that she makes into pieces. And I had a hard time sewing. Not this part. This part was okay. As you can see, it's pretty good. This part here, I redid it 3 times and I was not happy how it was. Then I undid the final rows in both the back and the 2 top fronts. And then I did Kitchener stitch on it and I like it better. Some people said that maybe the structure is not so firm, but I thought it was okay. You still have a line here with the Kitchener stitch that I made. And I think it was pretty good. So this I like. Sit down, filha. The arms, I didn't think they were that good though. I thought I didn't like that much. It was not that bad, but still. So I think that for the other patterns that I want to do from this book, I'm going to read throughout the pattern first to see the increases and stuff, to see where I can put together, maybe pick up stitches here and do the sleeves down instead. I don't know. So I don't mind putting them together here, sewing them together here, but here definitely I'm going to use this, or I could use the 3 needle bind off for this, and that's something that I do. But I even thought I'm going to just do it together and put a fake seam here. But if you see, there is some nice shaping to the side. And I believe that's one of the characteristics of her designs, that you have a nice shaping. And if you're doing in the circle, like if you're using circular needles, it's going to be a little bit harder to do. But Paula liked it, so I'm pretty happy. And this is another. Now I have very little of this yarn, and I'm going to finish with this. The other finished project for Paula is the top azulejo that she put in English as style top. It's a Portuguese designer, Carolina Farias, and it's very cute. Paula, can you stand up a little bit, Phil, just to show?
In the back.
Yeah, I love it. And if you can, what I like about this, one of the details is the back is lower than the front, if you can see there, and it has the split in the back, and it's pretty nice. I really like this top.
That's light.
It's
Nice.
yeah, and this is my hand spun. It is my God, what is it? It's silk and what's the name of the animal? Silk and yak. So it's silk and yak that I did. I thought it was going to be very transparent, but now on her body, I don't think it's that transparent. I think it's pretty good. I think it's very cute. I really like it, and I'm very glad that she liked it, and it turned out perfect for her. It's 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 very nice. I like it. So this is style top. I left a link on my previous video, and you have the pattern in English and in Portuguese, and it's really nice. It has some lace in the bottom, and then here on this area it just works with pearls and knits to make a little um, design, and it's really good. It's relevo, it's a pattern. So it's pretty good. I really liked it. So these are the two finished projects that are leaving the house this weekend with Paula that I wanted to show you. Well, I'm back. That was filmed 2 weeks ago. And the thing is, on September 3rd, Steven West started talking about his mystery call. And I said, oh, I want to do his mystery call. And when I bought this yarn last year for Mihai, I bought 7 skeins because I didn't know how much I would need. I know he likes a textured sweater. So I didn't know how much yarn I would need, and I bought 7 of the green, and I bought 1 more of the yellow. And I said to myself, it's a greenish yellow. Oh, if I use only 5, I can buy 2 more skeins, and then I use these colors to make the mystery call, the Steven West mystery call. But then I was not sure if I was going to need more. So that was good because if you see the last episode, I think I was here, and I end up finishing the sweater for him. Like, I'm considering this a finished project, but I still have to weave in the ends, and here on the neck, I have to sew this part in. And I don't like to, but I will block this because I thought it came out when I was doing it, because I didn't have a pattern for this. So I went to Drops Garden that has patterns, and I looked more or less for the gauge for sweaters that would have that gauge, and I just used it. And 1 sweater as a base. It came out totally different, but at least it helped me to get it. And I was trying it on all the time on him, and it looked really large. On the sides of it, I did some ribbon stitch here, as you can see. And I thought to myself, well, this is good. You can see the difference on the stitch, okay? Because this is kind of a ribbon stitch too, but it's not a ribbon, and you can see the difference here. And I thought this is good because this can stretch a little bit, so it's nice. I'm putting on him, but when I did the ending, when I did the ribs in the bottom, it feels like it got everything tight. So this is the back of it. So I'm going to block it to see if it grows a little bit. I did block the sample. I normally don't do, but I did a sample and I blocked it, and and it didn't grow much. So let's see. The other thing is, I didn't notice throughout the time I was knitting that there is a very dark line here on the sweater, but I'm not going to undo it. But I can see it now. I couldn't see while I was knitting, because if I had noticed this before, I would just have undone. And if you see, all the rest is okay. So I could have mixed the skeins here, but I didn't think of it for this because they looked really very homogeneously variable. But this one was darker, the top one. But it's okay. He likes it. It's a light sweater. That's what he wanted. And I have 3 skeins of this. So this is my last finished project. And I was 2 weeks working on this because I wanted to buy the yarn to have ready for the mystery call. And it took me 2 weeks to do it, like knitting very late. I was going to bed very late because I wanted to grow on it to know if I had more. And honestly, after 2 weeks, I was fed up with this collar. Luckily for me, it was a 3 millimeters needle that I think in US is between 2 and, I don't know the numbers. But it's a 3 millimeter needles. And luckily for me, this stitch is very nice to do. It's not boring. And you can do it watching TV and everything. So that was a good point to help me go through this because it wasn't working very well. Like I was getting tired of the project. But because of the Steven West cowl, I finished it. I'm not going to use the green for the thing. I'm going to show you later what I'm going to use for the cowl. But it worked to help me finish that sweater. So when I finished my projects that was to give to Paula, and it was her birthday this month, so she's 24 now. I decided to get my Portugal cardigan that is by Filipa Carneiro, a Portuguese designer. And I did, let me see, I have a marker somewhere. Oh, here, no, I don't know, but I did very little. Oh yeah, this is the marker. So I was at the pocket. I had just finished the opening for the pocket. And then I did this more when Steve West and Cal people start talking, and I had his videos, and I stopped to get the other one. And I'm on the second ball now. I have 5. I hope it comes out nicely. It looks like it's getting a little bit big, and I decided to do, I was going to do the extra large, and I decided to do the large, but it's looking a little bit big. I don't know, but I think it's going to be beautiful. And this is 50% linen and 50% wool. It is Alvor, and it's Rosarios 4. I ordered from this store, Tricolans, in Portugal. The freight was better than the freights here in Ontario, and it was really good and fast. They shipped very fast. So when I want some more Rosarios 4, and they are launching a lot of new fibers contents in their skeins, in their yarns. So they are the ones I'm going to use to order more. So this is beautiful, but it's going to be here until later because, as I told you, the weather is coming down here. It's becoming colder, so I think I need warmer stuff. And then, so this is my work in progress. I have, let me get I have one pair of socks that is some yarn that I spun long ago, and I did a Navajo or chain ply. And I got this so far. So this is the first pair of socks. It's an easy one, ribbon, no fuss, just something to knit while I can't think about things. So it's toe up as usual, because I like toe up. And I have this. I think this is not going to be enough to make a full a pair for male socks for men. So I think I'm gonna do this for a girl, because then I'll have enough to use just this yarn. So this is my second working project. And then I got, I got this book. Okay. And I'm doing the Jane Steinges Althida. That is this one. I think I have some more pictures here. And the thing happened, it's funny because the yarn calls us. This was not going to be, I was not even thinking of using this yarn, because I spun it. There were a lot of greens and a lot of white in it, and I didn't like it. So I decided that I was going to over dye it, and I put, because I had greens, I thought I want some golden brown. And I went and I over dyed it with red and yellow, like a little bit of red and a lot of yellow, and I got this. So it's still, you can still see the greens, but the parts that I didn't like turned out brown, and I really love it. So I thought, oh well, I can do the Althida. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I can do it with some alpaca brown that I have. But I did them, and even though the brown alpaca was a darker brown, it was not working. And then I saw this other hand spun yarn that I had done long ago, and I said, oh, I think this is going to go well with the brown. So I'm not 100% sure how it will look at the end, because both yarns are sort of variegated, but because the yellow is very bright, I hope it will show. And I started this on our Tricot Assistas, that every Friday some Portuguese podcasters and other Portuguese knitters get together, and we talk, and normally it's from 2 to 7, sometimes 8 Canadian time. That is until midnight, 1, 2 p.m. their time. And we always have subject. People come in, people go out, and I'm there from 2 after work. I'm anxious to leave work, and we have a Zoom meeting, and we stay there and talk to at least 7 p.m. here. And I did that, and I worked on this yesterday too. So now I think I need 9 more rows to finish the detail, the color work, and then it's going to be just the thing. But it's really nice. I really love how the skins turned out, and that's why I've been doing this. And let's see. So I feel like working more on it before I get anything else. What I notice is when I make samples, and I made a sample of the brown. I didn't wash. This is all Corriedale that I had crock pot dyed, and then I spun. So I did a sample just to check more or less how many stitches I would have. And this is 19 stitches per 10 centimeters. But I noticed that in many sweaters that I'm doing, I do a sample and then I knit the project. But I am a very loose knitter. And I think that when I knit the project itself, I get looser because it's a longer thing. So I just, this sweater asks for a gauge of 20 stitches per 10 centimeters. And I said, I think I'll be fine. But let's see how it's going to be afterwards. It's too early to see. But I, I am from the point that I do not need that many sweaters. Um, and I don't have that much space anyway. And I have a lot of nephews that are married and stuff. So if it doesn't fit me, it will fit somebody. And I'll have used my stash. So this is what I did in terms of knitting. Not many projects. I have 3 on the go. And I think that because I am a little bit stressed, I'm working with my fiber because that gives me joy, relaxes me, and so I'm doing that. One of the things that I'm doing, I have this Wensleydale that I bought in 2019 at Rhinebeck that I had washed, but I had never spun because I have to comb it. It's long wool, so I'm combing the fibers. So what I did is Carolina Farias, she put an idea or a challenge that you should do 30 in 30, 30 minutes in 30 days. That is what I was doing with my green sweater. But then I finished it. But then I decided to do this with this. But instead of being 30 in 30, what I do is I comb 4 balls every day and I spin them. And that is giving me a whole bobbin per week. So it's a beautiful color. It's rough because it's long wool. It's not soft, but it's a gorgeous color. So I don't know yet if I'm going to how many plies I'm going to do. And also I don't know if I'm going to over dye or not because I really love the grays, and even you have lighter tones and everything that when I do the cable are going to get together. And my husband has already said, oh, next sweater you want to do for me, can you do me a cardigan? I always ask him, do you want me a cardigan? No, I don't wear cardigans. But now he's already aiming for his next sweater that is going to be a cardigan. So here is the sweater, and let me put this here. So still in spinning, I've been working on this batch. So that was my mohair, merino, and then the alpaca, gray alpaca. But I was getting too stressed with preparing this. I have very little of both in each batch, so it's almost nothing. And I decided to add some of my stash of silk, mulberry silk. And this is what I'm getting. I still have a lot to make bats for. This is the bat. It's very soft. And so I have a lot to spin because I have the other bats that I prepared before, and I'm working on this. And I'm thinking that after the yarn is finished, I'm thinking of maybe doing some spackles on them just to add some flavor to the color, or maybe even over dye, because the mulberry silk gets color very nicely. It's not a lot, but it's looking good. So I will see when I finish the yarn if I like it. If I don't, because it's too bright a blue, I might over dye it or do speckles or spots. I don't know. So this is here. The other thing that I dyed is I am in my brown and orange phase. So I got a lot of merino that I have, and I dyed some browns. So I think I have 300 grams or 400 grams of dyed wool, and I was aiming more for this color. And I think that when I have the yarn done, maybe if I over dyed with yellow, I might get a brighter brown. But so I have a lot to spin here. And I also dyed some oranges. So the oranges go in different tones. As you can see, some have more red, and that's what I wanted. And I'm thinking that I might do, I forgot the term in English, but when I'm spinning, what I will do is I will divide one of the tops, right, in two, and then one part I spin, and then a fractal spinning. So I'm thinking of doing fractal spinning on this to get a lot of different colors, and one of them I spun with the red. So I want this to, I got the same dye, it's just that I add more yellow to the dyes, and so everything should work well together because it's the same color. And because I'm thinking of doing fractal spinning, I think it's going to be great, and I want to use it for a shawl that Steven West made, has, that is the Pogona shawl. So I think it's going to look good, hopefully. But I am in my orange phase. So this is what I dyed. And then, so I dyed a lot of this. I think I dyed 600 grams, 1.2 kilos in total of these reds and the thing. Oh, the brown I already talked. So this is what I did in dyeing. I was just wanting to take advantage of the fall before the winter came, and I dyed it outside because I used my big pot to dye the yarns, over dye the yarns that I had. So the other thing that I dyed is I had spun a lot of this yarn for my son, and I talked on the last podcast that I bought some Ashford black to dye, and I was very disappointed because I got this color that is a dark grayish, but it is still for me a purplish dark gray, and it's not a black. And I used the pot said that I should wear the whole thing for 1 kilo of fiber. So I had 1 kilo of fiber, and I put the whole pot in my big pot to dye, and I saw this is not getting dark enough. So I got a little bit, not the second pot that I have, prepared it, and I think I used at least 1/3 of it, and then I got this color. My plan was to have 3 colors, black, a lighter gray, and a white, but I didn't like the color that was coming out of it, so I decided not to do it. The other thing is because I put more dye, it didn't exhaust all the dye that I use with other stuff. But the thing is, I didn't get the color that I had, and I had to rinse it many times. So you could see the difference because I washed this skein, the white. So after you spin, you have to wash it. So I washed it, and I could see that this skein was much shorter than this. That means it shrunk. In a way, it's good because it's going to be warm, because it felted a little bit in itself, and it will probably not felt anymore, hopefully. But it was a little bit disappointed. So I decided that I am going to do just some pattern. I don't have the pattern yet. That is in dark gray and white, and I will do something for my son. I'm waiting for him to give me his chest measurements so that I can start sampling and looking for something. But I don't know when he's coming, so it's not a hurry project. So that's all about the dyeing that I have done and the spinning. I have really just spun my gray fleece, nothing else. And then the last thing is for my mystery call. I subscribed for the newsletter of the Knitting Loft. It's a store in Toronto. And I received that when I was still working on my green sweater for my husband. And then I saw that they have some clearance, some sales. And the sales for me were going to be more affordable, like for each of these skein, and I had to buy at Space Tricot in Montreal because they were the only ones that had the colors that I had, and it was like $40 each. So I would pay $80 plus Canadian dollars plus postage to receive it, to receive 2 skeins. So it would end up $100 and something because you also have taxes on the top of it, right? And then I saw that this sale, and I decided to get this. And because it was sale, each skein was like $20 each. So I end up paying with taxes $128. But I got 5 skeins, and I still have the other 3 skeins that I can use for another shawl. And I've been checking. I have some shawls in mind. So I'm going to use these skeins for the mystery call starting on the October 6th. I already bought the pattern. And then because I was buying the pattern for here, I got the pattern for the Pogona that I wanted. This is Exquisite. It is West Yorkshire spinners, and it is 80% merino and 20% mulberry silk, and they're gorgeous. So very shiny. I wanted a white. I thought a white would be less in your face. My husband said, oh, white would look good, and I thought, yeah, white would look good, but they didn't have white. So I thought of getting a white from another brand, but said, you know what, I'm going to stick to the same content, and I think it's going to look good. And yellow and blue together are my favorite things, my favorite colors. So that's it. So fall is here. With nothing really happened that I could show you on film, except that because our vet is in Parry Sound, my husband has been going there directly. I work and he's retired. So he's taking the dogs there for the teas. Luck is good. Momo is not so good. We are very concerned. So probably Monday he's going again to the vet about his eyes. And but meanwhile, because the dogs had to be there for a while, he is doing a filming. That's what he does. he visits the cities where we go, and he joins it with music, and he puts some videos about the cities. So he's going to put a little bit of the town of Perry Sound here. We did a few of it, a little bit last episode, but he's going to add something here. And if you want to watch some of his videos, he did a few of the area that we live. It is on Trailers and Cigarettes is his channel, YouTube channel. And that's it. So I hope you all stay well. We are fine here. We are in the middle of Ontario. So Fiona doesn't get to where we are, but it caused a lot of damage in Newfoundland and the Maritimes. And Newfoundland is a place that we hold close to our heart because we loved it. So we hope that they can get over soon. I thought it was really cool. I was watching the news, and the government sent from Ontario, from Quebec, from everywhere in Canada, people that would be helping after the hurricane passed with the destruction. So there are a lot of groups, and also the army is going to the Maritimes to help them with the damage that happened to help people. So I'm grateful I live in this country. I love Canada, and that's it. I hope you are well and that you enjoy the video that my husband is going to put after a year. A big kiss for all of you. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Kid from a small island.
We can make it and then laugh about it.
Tail end of it all. Cameraman and me.
With the thing holding with the stick.
All right, we're actually rolling. Portuguese.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.